Hello there, Quicksilver Slash here today with a World of Tanks replay. Today I'm driving my Tier 6 Chinese medium, the Type 58. Now, I don't know why I haven't played this tank more. The Type T-34 was rough with that little woodpecker of a gun it had, but the Type 58 is a lot more decent really. In a way it's almost similar to the Firefly, which is a tank I love. The main difference being that the Type 58's aim just is not adequate in any way, shape, or form. And I kind of try to overcome that a little throughout this game with using auto-aim. I know that's kind of a questionable thing. A lot of people would say, oh, experienced players shouldn't use auto-aim, but I find when I'm in situations where I'd rather stay mobile than take accurate shots, I use auto-aim. A good example of another tank I do this in is the Cromwell. You just lock onto someone and start carouseling. So right here I've locked onto the enemy Cromwell, and I want to be able to focus on my lines, like staying in the lower ground, making sure I'm not driving out into the open in front of something. And I just rely on the computer to kind of track that for me. And it works really well against stationary targets with low armor. And that Cromwell wasn't really moving, and he doesn't really have armor. So next, I come up against the KV-85. A little tougher of a target, but I managed to put one into him, and I'm continuing to back up, fire again, another 147 damage. And the rate of fire on this gun is very respectable. I don't have a particularly experienced crew, but I recall it being about 3.5 seconds. Now right here, I see an opening. I can see the KV-85 backing up, and I'm just going to be patient, wait for him to drive into my shot, rather than start moving and mess my aim circle up. So I'm already 2 kills in. We're pushing this hill pretty well, and here's another place where I'll use auto-aim. I lock on, and I use it to stay locked on through that hill. Unfortunately, he dies before I get the next shot off. So one of the big things in mediums is you gotta push your advantage. When you have momentum, you can't stop and let the enemy team kind of re-cement its position. So I'm gonna continue to put pressure on this Panther M10, and luckily I've got my own Panther M10 alongside with me. And the two of us are actually gonna do some pretty significant work this game. I go to pull out to shoot the Wolverine, but he gets killed by the friendly J-Panther, leaving this T-25 TAC-2 on this side. And you can see right there, one of the big downsides of this tank is that lack of gun depression. Once again, almost similar to the Sherman Firefly. That, you know, it's very abnormal for a British tank not to have good gun depression. The Firefly is one, and that's what I find myself, I'm trying to compare this tank to in my mind, and try to figure out why I don't like this, but absolutely love the Firefly. And part of it could be that I'm Canadian, and the Firefly was the British version of American tank fitted with a very effective gun, and I love its abilities. So I lock onto this Hellcat, trying to dodge him. He starts to pull forward, miss that shot. I ram him and put a shot in, bringing in my 3rd kill of the match. And right now our team has done pretty well. That top corner held, and we just pushed through everything on that kind of temple side, and all that's left is Artie. So this Crusader SP takes a shot at me, and just look at this aim circle. Aiming, finally take a shot. Panther M10 finishes them, leaving just that enemy FV304 that could be hiding, because we know where the E2 is. And it's going to be the Panther M10 that spots him. He's back there. So once again, I look over my shoulder, I pull up this hill to try to get the shot. I fire, ammo rack him, killing him, and winning the game. And here we are with post-battle. First class, demolition expert, fighter, duelist, fire for effect, and bruiser. 37,000 37,000 credits and 6,200 experience with a win of the day, which is currently a 3 times, and some of my personal reserves active because I'm just trying to get the most out of this 3 times event. Second on team, me and that Panther M10 really did a lot of work together, killing half the enemy team. Just over 2,000 damage apiece, and I got 1,045 experience. Quite happy with that result. Fired 18 shots, 15 hit, 13 penetrated, and considering how much of that was me auto-locking, I find particularly with this tank, because its aim isn't that great, I would rather stay moving, just auto-lock onto something and fire on the move, than stop and take the time to try to aim. So that is why I did that so much in this game. Overall, you can see the breakdown of experience, and just a great result for a tank that I haven't really played too much of. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll have another one for you guys tomorrow.